But it's one of them things where there's no set rules of who can do it and who can't. So if there was some sort of like governing body which said you're not qualified to put on a show, maybe it would be better. But I mean, who's to say what's wrong and what's right in wrestling with it being fake? There's no actual like set guidelines of what's right and what's wrong sort of thing. So I suppose anyone can do it if you've got that passion. So.
Okay, so where did your passion for professional wrestling come from?
First started wrestling training when I was 15. Me and my mates always used to like backyard and stuff. We'd like make up storylines and pretend to play wrestling and all that sort of stuff, like most kids do. But it was always me who took it more seriously, whereas my friends would be like, I'd be like ringing them up and stuff like, oh, come and play wrestling, and they'd be like, oh no, we want to play football and stuff. And I'd be always like hell bent on playing wrestling. It was all wrestling for me. My mum and dad used to think I was like crazy for wanting to wrestle all the time and stuff. But I mean, like I say, I finally found a wrestling school when I was 15 in Newcastle. Went up there and started training, and from the minute I took my first footstep in the ring, I was hooked, and I knew that's what I wanted to do, and still trying to do it. Still trying to make the dream come true. There was a lot of people who came through the training school I was at that actually made it to WWE. Like you've got like Adrian Neville, who's at WWE now. Drew McIntyre, he was actually there, like helping out with training and stuff when I first started. I didn't know he was a star at the time. He was just on his way to WWE, sort of thing. So. And the guy who trained him said that he hadn't seen anything in anyone since Drew McIntyre that he saw in me, sort of thing. So I kept getting all these compliments, and people were saying you really should pursue this sort of thing, because it's not often people have that sort of hit factor thing. And I didn't really know what that was, because obviously I was only like 15, 16, but I knew that it felt right and it was my passion, my dream, and I thought, why not try it? Why not try and make it a career? They think that they can buy a ring, hire a social club out for the night, put a wrestling show on and call that professional wrestling. So that's the sort of thing I was wanting to do. I was sort of wanting to get away from that sort of thing, because I mean, at my stage, that's the only shows I can get built on and stuff, like those smaller scale shows. Now and again I'll get an opportunity for a bigger company, but I mean, to get work permanently for those big companies like ICW was on BBC One tonight, that sort of stuff's kicking right off, and it's all getting bigger and bigger as like each year progresses. I think British wrestling in general is getting bigger. So you've got the low end of the scale, which is all these social club shows and stuff, and then you've got the top end of the scale, which is like ICW running like O2 academies all over the country and stuff, like London. They've got a show in Newcastle, and like selling out Glasgow all the time, like 3,000 people and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say there's no less passion from it all. It's all probably, everyone's as passionate as each other, just people have more ideas than others. Like some people are clueless and they're just doing it all wrong, sort of thing. So wrestling's entertainment. It's an entertainment. It's like you wouldn't go out there and put on like a pantomime if it was like just no costumes and no backdrops and all that sort of stuff. You need that. The wrestling ring needs to look tight. It needs to look like a spectacle. When you walk in the building, you want to be like, oh wow, there's the wrestling ring right in front of us, sort of thing. You don't want to just be looking like, what's that piece of shit? You know what I mean? Like just a shoddy ring with like no design on the apron, like stains all over it and stuff, and like no lights, and just like you've got like fat guys coming out in like singlets and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like people don't want to pay to see that. If I want to go and see that, I can just go and watch like a shit video on the internet. Do you know what I mean? Like to me, it's not like the production's so lacking, and definitely needs to be focused on. So with Rise, it's like sort of, we want to establish it straight off the bat, sort of thing. We want to get the crowd there, and we want to shock them and think this is far better than what they expected. We want them to sort of come in there with the sort of attitude that they know. Like we want to get up and sort of create a thing on the internet where it looks professional. We're trying to be as professional as possible with everything we do. Like every post we do, so we want to make sure. Just even some simple things as like when you write, your grammar needs to be like sound professional. You don't want to be like spelling mistakes all over the place like some people do. They just talk as if they're like texting someone and that's their announcements. They just, do you know what I mean? Like it's not. They not present themselves professionally from the word go, and that's the sort of thing we want to do. We want to be as professional as possible from start to finish, and this is why I don't like actually, we're like anonymously promoting. We're not like going there saying, oh, this is me and I'm the promoter sort of thing. I'm sort of staying in the shadows while and letting the production do the talking sort of thing. First show, we want you to want when's the next show. We want people to want to buy tickets and come to the next show. That's why we sort of sticking with these characters. We're going to make our own characters. All the best wrestling promotions worldwide have created their own stars, and that's it. It's about creating your own stars and getting these characters people can relate to and like love to boo these certain people and love to cheer these people, and we'll leave it all as cliffhangers so that they want to know when the next show is and they're going to come to the next show. It's about creating that sort of rapport with our audience where they want to come back each time, and that's the main thing that we want to achieve really. It's about, we're not too interested in making profit on the first 2 or 3 shows. I'm willing to take losses, but I mean it's all about just getting those initial crowd, getting your audience, and then each time building on your audience. For me, I'm wanting to make a living from wrestling. That's my dream, is to make money from wrestling. Since day one, since I started, 6 months into it, I knew, like I said, the minute I decided it's a possibility to have a career out of it, I knew that it would take years until I started making money that I could actually live off, sort of thing. This is why I'm here at uni and stuff, just trying to bide my time until I start getting the money that I can actually live on, sort of thing. Because to me, I've never wanted to work a 9-to-5 job. I've tried it, done every job going under the sun, and I just can't do it. It's not me. I've always been wrestling. That's my thing.